Hey guys, Alauddin here. Just wanted to do my weekly live. And today, what I have for you guys is basically a course that I signed up for this morning, and I thought, I can use that as an example of a use case. So what we'll do is actually, I'll log in into a brand new account that I've created, and we'll just start from scratch. So hopefully, you can get your creative juices going once you start seeing the use case and how you can apply this application for your business. Okay. All right. So give me a yes if you guys can hear me first, and then, we'll get started. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Sameshkar. So that's the plan for today. I wanted to actually just log in and share my screen and show you from a brand new account how I would set up, say, a course, and then, if you're a coach, consultant, or even an agency, how you can use the functionality to streamline your processes. So that's what I want to convey today. So I have the screen here and I have my account created over here. So today there was an ad on Facebook for this 30-day quarantine challenge. It's $30 and I figure I'll give it a try and just see what it's like. A lot of this stuff is basically from all the other courses that I have signed up. There's a lot of the same stuff, but everybody has their own little style, and I did find it kind of useful, and it just gave me an idea to do this live and to use one of the lessons. So I'm going to use that as an example, and then we'll use this exact same format to create our course in Meribook and take it one step further. So let me give you a recap of what this first module is. So lesson 1 is crafting the perfect offer, and it's 10-minute audio describing the pieces that are necessary to make a perfect offer. So, we can say this is not unique to any specific business. Every business has to do this in order to make their offer compelling, right? So the first thing that they're talking about is tell about your story, and then, who is your audience, all the things that, most of you guys are probably familiar with. I don't want to go into the detail. I want to go into the Meribook account and show you guys just taking this one lesson and how I would create my own course that can be perceived as more one-on-one coaching. So again, we're kind of pivoting towards coaching and online training where you're doing one-on-one or group. And that means you have to allocate more of your time for the hand holding and maybe reviewing some of the work that your clients are doing. So when you think about Thinkific or even your LMS system, you have many people signing in and they're just going at their own pace, and your support is usually just maybe a 1 hour every day or 1 hour every week, whatever that additional time that you spend. But reviewing the work of your users, if you have 1,000 students, that is just not possible. So for smaller group coaching and one-on-one coaching, where the monthly prices are much higher, then you do have to give a little bit more time, and there is more one-on-one discussion of specific requirement for your client. So with that, I'll show you how we can use Meribook now. So I'm logged in. I just signed up into this account, just created a brand new account, and if I go to the home page, you'll see that I have nothing here. So this is hopefully something that if you guys are still not really using this or haven't jumped in, or if you're just testing it out, I wanted to show you from the very beginning how we can go about setting something up pretty quickly and have something that is more process oriented. So I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to say, let's call this the perfect offer course. So I'm going to call this course the perfect offer, and I'll just add a book and I'll call it the perfect offer how to. All right. So I'm just going to name that book, and I'll leave everything, default. This is still private. I'm going to create that. All right. So now if I come back, you'll see lesson 1 is crafting the perfect offer. So I'm going to call my first module crafting the perfect offer. Okay. So again, at this point, basically what we're doing is creating an outline, right? So I've created my course and I've created my first module. And then within that module, let's say these are your training materials. So your origin story would be the first one. So I'm actually literally going to copy that and just add that to my section. And I'll call this your origin story. And I'm going to take the sample text, paste that into the section area. And of course, you would expand this and explain this a little bit more. But for now, what we've done is created our first section. Let me just go and create one more, your audience. So your audience is the second section coming back into this. And here's our brief description for what that section is about. Okay. So now, if you look at the course, like the perfect offer is the course, crafting the perfect offer, your module 1. And then within that module, you have these 2 pieces of content. If you clicked on the chapter itself, the module, and then here you'll be able to expand everything and be able to see all the content. So from a UI perspective, I think this is something unique and something that I find really useful, because you get into that zone and you have all of that content in just one spot. So if you were to try this in some other platform, trying to create this content, create this course, it would have been a few more steps, maybe a little bit more intensive, but that's the difference, I think, between our platform and most of the other ones. So here's the best part. Let's say you're working with a teammate and they are going to fill out some of this content now for you. So let's say you want them to take this example, you're going to create the first one, and then they have to go create the rest of the modules for this course. What we can do here is at the book level, I'm going to go back up 1 level. So this is my book, The Perfect Offer How To. And then here I can click and invite a user. So I can invite, and I can say it's going to have manager access. And I'll send that invite. So that invite is sent. And I can X out of here. I'm going to refresh this real quick. So let me click that again. You'll see that this user was sent an invite and they haven't accepted the invitation yet. So when I go into my email, let's suppose that I don't have an account, my own account on Meribook, it will take me through the process of creating an account and then giving me access to this book. Right? So that's one way to look at this. Let me jump back out and I'll go to shares because we want to give you an aggregated view of everybody you have invited. So when you come to this, basically all we're doing is saying, okay, on this book, you've invited this user. If you had another book and you had invited other users, you would see all of the people that you're collaborating with in a nice format here. So right now you can do it at book level and you can also do it at section level since we haven't invited anybody at that level. I really don't use these two that much. This one's not even there, but the books is the main one. So you can give them a manager access or you can change the access to edit or view. So really not that different from, say, your Google Docs. The main difference comes back to how the content is organized. In Google Docs, this would have been just one big document. Here, you can literally break it down into an organized system and different people can be working on different parts of this course that you're building. So chapter one, if you have an expertise of a couple of people who are working on chapter one, they can go in and only look at chapter one, and then maybe somebody who is an expert in Facebook advertising, you can maybe have a chapter on how to do Facebook advertising, and then they could be adding the content there. So organization wise, I think this makes a lot more sense, at least to me. All right. So let me switch back again and let me see if you guys have any questions, anything that you want me to explain further, or if this is making sense, just give me a thumbs up or just say okay, and I'll keep on going to the next few pieces. I have basically, let's see, 3 more areas that I want to cover within this one concept, and then we'll call it a day. And I do want to respect your time. Let me switch back now and I'll continue. All right, so coming back to our course, right? So we're creating this course and I'm comparing it to having the content similar to this. So, right now we have the origin story and your audience. That's the 2 sections we've created. And we can go on and add the other 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, other 8 sections. So, in the end, you would have 8 more sections here. So from a big course perspective where you have hundreds of people where they just come and consume your content, this is perfect, right? So let's say this was a free lead magnet that you wanted to give. I hear a lot of people looking at this as, when can we convert it into a PDF and give it as a lead magnet? And the thing is, PDF is just so 20 years old. PDF, it was not meant to be a lead magnet. It was meant to be a document sharing solution, but not a lead magnet. Because it doesn't tell you when somebody has used your lead magnet. It doesn't tell you when they've consumed. So I'm going to come back into my profile. There is nothing else displayed on my profile. I'm going to go to my book, edit this book, and I'm going to make this a public book. So now, if I go to my profile, you'll notice that this book is now visible on my profile. And if you were to, I'm going to copy this URL. And if you were to view this incognito, these are people who haven't created an account and who just came across you, and you want to send them to your free content, a structured free content, they would come here and they can click on the perfect offer. Even on your lead magnet, you can start getting reviews, and you can go deeper, take a look at the actual content of this book, and you'll see that everything that you saw when I was a logged in user as a book owner, this person is able to see all of that content, and I'm not a logged in user. So this is my free content, but in a structured format. And here you can embed videos. So a whole bunch of things that you can do. You can even add, I'm going to go back to my account here. You can even go into your account and add your own Facebook pixel ID. So on your pages, your Facebook pixel ID would fire, and you can create your audience based on that as well. So that is also possible. So now let me show you, come back to the one-on-one coaching or group coaching. Like if you were to do something like that, where you ask your clients to actually fill this out and then you want to review it. So now we're changing this format from just a consuming aspect to where you are collaborating with your client. So let's say you're an agency and you want to work together on creating that perfect offer for your client, just one-on-one. Or what I would do is I already have this. So what I can do is we have this clone this book option. So I can just, with one click, clone everything that I have so far in this book. So I have one chapter and two sections, and that just got created. So let me go back, and here you see in my private area, I have the perfect offer, and we just added this because we want to make it very unique. So you would just go and update the title. And then if I go to the public section, this is the actual original book. So I'm going to go into this book, in crafting the perfect offer, that's the chapter. And again, if you look at the two sections, we can see that those two sections are there. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to show you that the content from those two sections is there as well, as you would expect. So how is this game changer? Right? So now let's say my client is, let's say, Yasmin, I'm going to make you my client now. Yasmin, okay? All right, so I'm going to update that. And there you go. This becomes a book that I have in my account, which is for my client. And I can go back and tag all my books that are client as clients and update. So now a couple of things have happened. I'm organizing all of my books where I can just click on clients here and all my client books would pop up. And then now, since I'm working one-on-one with this client, I can go and invite client one, right? And they will get access to this book when they log in into the account under shared with me. So shared with me, the client would look in here, they'll be able to look at that book. If I give them the manager access, they'll be able to go create new chapters, they'll be able to create new sections. If I give them editor access, they'll be able to go edit. The structure they won't be able to create because they're just editors. They cannot create new chapters, they cannot create new sections. So that's the difference between the two permissions, editor and manager. Manager can add new chapters, can add new sections, and editor can only go in and edit the content that's already created by the book owner. So this is now a one-on-one course that I can sell, and I can tell my client to complete this in order to move on to, module 2. So the module 2 could be, creating the landing page, because now you have all the information that you need to create the perfect offer. So you've written down your origin story, you've written down your audience, and you've written down, what are the benefits and outcomes. You've taken small pieces of your overall offer, and now you can go create for this client a landing page. I'll make that video sales VSL page. Okay. Once I create that, you can have one section. Let's say you're targeting 2 different avatars, right? So if you're targeting agency owners, and then you can write your sales letter here. That could be your agency owner content for your sales page. And then I can create another sales page, and let's say there are WordPress freelancers. Okay. And then you can create another sales page. The beauty of this would be, with your client, you've shared this one resource where you can go in and start looking at different pieces that you all are working together on. Right? So it becomes a platform that you can start using to see, the progress that you're working on per client. So hopefully that gives you an idea of why this platform, it might seem a little bit more complicated, because there is so much functionality built in. So hopefully, training like this is helpful to you guys. I'll be happy to get on a Zoom call or whatever, and if you have any specific use case that you're trying to solve, we can just chat about it, and you can just set something up like this in half an hour, and you'll get a much better idea of what the next steps are and what are some of the other possibilities. All right, so 35 minutes. I was a few minutes late. I want to keep it short. I don't want to, keep you guys here for too long, more than I need to. Unless you have other questions, this is pretty much the demo that I wanted to show you. Hopefully, it makes a lot of sense now, especially for that one-on-one hand-holding for your high-end services that you're selling. So I think this would streamline quite a bit of that. Again, if you go to the public side of things, where you're actually going to get some SEO benefit for the free content if you organize it. So if you're thinking about, like, how can I get additional traffic? Well, one way, if you're creating all this content on YouTube and you're creating content on LinkedIn, you can compile all of that free content, and just like people who create a lead magnet PDF from their blog posts, you can take your YouTube stuff, you can take your LinkedIn stuff, and you can take your other free blog stuff, combine it all here, and make that a much more robust lead magnet. And actually having reviews, I think that is going to be one of the key differentiators now, even for a lead magnet. So this is uncharted territory that we're going into. Really excited. This whole public book thing will become more obvious to you guys once we change the homepage, when we start, pulling content from our premium customers onto the homepage. So you get a little bit more exposure. Free users, we're not going to be pulling into the homepage, because there's so much possibility for spam and bad content showing up on the homepage. So we want to restrict it initially only to our premium customers. We'll pull those books, randomize it, and just put it up on our homepages. So if you haven't created any books or content on this platform and you're looking for free traffic, free leads, I would say you got about 2 weeks. I'll probably work with about 5 or 7 users. I'll push that content a little bit more. I'll create blogs and overviews, and we'll use that as our promotional material. So you'll get free advertising if you hop in and start creating. Otherwise, I'm just going to create content that I can pull from other sources as examples and start filling up the homepage. All right, guys, I don't see any other questions. Thank you very much for stopping by. Feel free to message me or, leave a comment on this post. Let me know how things are going. Hopefully this one was a little bit smoother than the previous ones. I'm hoping it will get better and better as we go further, okay? All right, that's it for today. Take care. Bye.